Welcome to the debate on illegal immigration for ENC 1102. I'm Gabriel Blanco, and today I will be hosting with Yesenia Hernandez. On today's panel, we have Caitlin and Justin opposing the DREAM Act, with Caitlin supporting the DACA Act and Justin going his own way. And on the other side, supporting the DREAM Act, we have Angel and Sasha. Before we begin, a little bit of background information on the topic. The Development, Relief, and Education for Alien Minors Act is a federal bipartisan legislation that was first introduced in 2001. It was never passed on a federal level, but many democratic states have passed their own similar versions, which they also refer to as DREAM Acts. Although the DREAM Act was never passed, in June 2012, President Barack Obama passed his own executive order known as the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals Program that allowed young, undocumented immigrants who entered the U.S. under the age of 16 to receive a 2-year work permit, an exemption from deportation. The biggest and most controversial difference between the policies is the DREAM Act's ability to give permanent citizenship to immigrants after a 6-year conditional visa and proven good behavior. While DACA allows individuals that meet certain criteria temporary work visas for 2 years. At the end of those 2 years, the individual may renew that visa. This is all subject to change if the next president decides to keep Obama's executive order or not. With all that being said, let's move on to our first question.
First question of the panel. President Obama has been referred to by his critics as the deporter-in-chief. Do you agree with this title? Why or why not?
We'll begin with the DREAM supporters. Angel?
Okay. Yes and no. We do have a lot of immigrants coming now to the U.S. more than we ever have, and none are being deported at all. Well, yes, the majority of them, a slight small percentage are being deported, and the rest of them just stay here illegally. And it's wrong for them to stay here, and also no. No, because really it's mostly Homeland Security that find the illegal immigrants and deport them. So I can't really consider Obama as deporter-in-chief at all.
While President Obama is on track to deport more people than any other president, I wouldn't refer to him as deporter-in-chief because he's the only president in the past few years that's trying to make a law for immigration, although it was not passed by the Senate.
I disagree because all of the numbers are there. I really do not believe that Obama would be the kind of person to actually do that, because the way he is as a president is not there for that.
All right, question number 2.
Which do you believe is a better solution, DACA or DREAM? If neither, what is your position and opinion on immigration, and what do you plan to do about it?
That's a very interesting question. I kind of want to get the opposition side first and see what they say about that.
I prefer neither. I strongly believe that there should be a much more organized and more thorough way of dealing with immigration, and that needs to be established first. The foundation comes first, and then this side could be addressed.
I don't really believe in both acts. I really think we need to make it easier for people who really want a citizenship to obtain one instead of waiting, having to spend lots of money and waiting for 5 to 7 years to get their citizenship.
All right, and supporters, what do you guys think?
I believe the DREAM Act is the most effective and should be the one that we should use. Because DACA, we get immigrants to the United States, but they're only here for 2 to 3 years on a work permit. And as soon as they're done, we just tell them, hey, get out, we don't want you here anymore, in a rude way. And most of them are in tears as soon as they leave. So it's horrible to see that. I believe the DREAM Act should be the one, because illegal immigrants could become citizens a lot easier. They'll take the citizenship test, they'll become citizens of the United States, and they don't have to have the fear of going back to their home country, knowing that they don't want to be there.
I agree with Angel because DREAM Act is giving people the opportunity to become a citizen. So DACA was just providing 2-year work permit.
Okay, guys, great answers all around. You got the energy level of a dead rat, but we can move on to the next question. Go ahead.
We are struggling with overpopulation as a country in some areas. How much of this is due to immigration? Do you have a solution to it? If so, what is your solution?
That's a great question. We're going to go ahead and ask the opposition first and see what they have to say.
I believe overpopulation has a lot to do with it, with the immigration, and I would seek out the solution of actually closing our borders up and killing the gap of fences that we don't have, and having a more active border patrol.
I agree with Justin. We need to, the citizens of our country aren't really growing that fast. The country's only growing due to the immigrants, so we need to control our borders in order to control the population growth.
All right, some interesting viewpoints there, some controversial viewpoints there. I want to know what the supporters have to say about that.
I agree with both of them. Yes, overpopulation does have to do a lot with immigration, but I disagree with both of their arguments on how we should fix it. I believe how we should fix it, we should just have a background check of all illegal immigrants. Yes, it will take time, but it will be effective. If we see their background, their history, what have they done? If they've done nothing wrong, yes, let's allow them in. But if they have done criminal activity or anything suspicious, we shouldn't even let them. I do believe we need to have control of our borders, but not to the extent where we need to close them and just say, you're never going to be allowed in here. I believe some of them should be allowed in here, but we should be cautious and take a background check on the majority of immigrants. That's what I believe.
Well, I also believe that it's the immigration that's causing so much overpopulation in the U.S., but it's also because of all the harsh conditions that they're in their foreign countries. So, as I think we should secure our borders and just cut the number of immigrants that are coming into the country, because just like Angel said, some of them could be criminals and others cannot, so we have to check them.
All right, our next question is, many immigrants get benefits when they sign up for these programs, such as scholarships and temporary IDs, such as driver's licenses. Do you believe that immigrants are getting sufficient support when they sign up for these programs, or do you believe that they are getting too much help? Explain your answer. This is a very interesting question, and I'm going to start off with the opposition first.
Okay, I believe that they shouldn't get help like that because to me, it's a very embarrassing waste of our tax money, and if I were to choose a side, I would lean more to DACA because DACA gives you a work visa, and that's the way I think it should be done. If you're going to come over here and seek benefits, that's not the way it works. That's an embarrassing waste of my tax money. I work too hard to just give my money away to some immigrants that want a free ride. So no, if you're going to come here, you work and you get your stuff like everybody else.
I believe that they're getting a little too much help, especially with scholarships. I mean, if you give scholarships to the immigrants, then that means that a citizen won't get a scholarship that they could have gotten if the immigrant didn't receive one. And I believe that's pretty unfair to the citizen who's done everything and who's worked hard in their schooling.
All right, that was an excellent answer. Now, I would love to hear what the supporters have to say.
No, I don't believe they're not getting that much help, and I don't believe they're getting too much help. To me, they're getting a good amount, because as we know, they come here with nothing but the clothes on their back, so they actually need help. They truly need help just to survive. Yes, they get all these benefits, but they don't get an apartment. They actually have to go look for one. They don't get a car. All they get is a driver's license. So we know they're not going to get a car, because pricely, in the time and span that they have, they won't be able to afford a car. All they will be able to do is afford bus rides. So to me, I believe they are not getting too much help. To me, they need a little bit more help. That's all that I believe.
I believe they're getting just enough help because most of the people who are getting these scholarships are people from like the DACA program, which is not everybody, which is what they're saying. It's mostly just the children who are brought here by their parents underage, and they have really no choice of being put in that situation. So I think it's just enough help to help them continue getting an education that they want instead of having to pay out-of-state tuitions or not get an education at all.
And that was the panel on illegal immigration inspired by We Never Asked for Wings for ENC 1102. We hope you enjoyed and have a nice day.
Thank
And
you for
remember-
watching.
Stay classy, Miami.